good afternoon, West Ham fans. Us to the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Easing yourself into the start of the week. 2 games for the Hammers this week, innit? Playing Everton on Wednesday, like 11:30 at night. I missed that one. And then on Sunday, I think it is. I think it's Sunday, 7:30 or 7 o'clock in the evening. That's much more palatable for us UK fans. Anyway, this morning did sort of the morning headlines about Michael Cooper. I've got a conspiracy theory about Michael Cooper. I'll be honest. In the same way that I don't know, mate. We'll have to wait and see. I don't want to put it out. My conspiracy theory, maybe Mads is our main target. And Michael Cooper, being a Salthouse person, is the sort of what's it called? Like the sort of a decoy. I don't know. Mate, it just seems a bit left field. I know he is a Salthouse player, but we'll see. And then at lunchtime, I took you through my 5 next in line academy players. On the back of obviously Preston's debut. Debut really, isn't it? It's pre-season, but talking about some other players, Edge Golombekis and Josh Ajala and stuff like that as well. Speaking of the academy, probably start the academy show next week, as we have another week of pre-seasons and stuff, and we get ready to welcome the academy back into Premier League 2 and under Premier League under 18s action in the next couple of weeks. But it's Hammersend Lions in association with the KUMB.com. Boys, don't forget to check them out in the description below, my friends. Let's talk about some transfer rumours, shall we? Now, a new name to add to the 185 players who've been linked to it. There's my list. I think it's 185. Yes, our 185th. Yes, 185. 185th player we've been linked with is this youngster. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, several Premier League clubs are interested in the Parma defender Giovanni Leoni. Now, the newspaper claimed that he was keen on a move to Inter Milan, and the Azzurri are focusing their efforts on Lookman instead, and that's causing a delay in their pursuit for Giovanni. The Gazzetta dello Sport article today name checks West Ham alongside Liverpool, Tottenham and Newcastle in the race for the 18-year-old. Now, it's been reported that Inter have reserved the centre-back, and they will need funds themselves to fully see the deal. He's growing impatient now, of course, and that's why the likes of West Ham, Liverpool, Tottenham and Juventus also, and Newcastle are interested in the 18-year-old. Parma want 35 million euros for an 18-year-old defender. I think there's every chance that, in the same way my conspiracy theory about Michael Cooper, I think this is the same thing from the Italian press to try and force Inter Milan's hand to signing him. But still, we've been linked with him, so he adds to the list. Speaking of Juventus, Douglas Luiz is the name on many people's lips this side of the water. And we know he's keen about making a return to England. The Brazilian international coach, Carlo Ancelotti, apparently has said he wants the best chance of getting into the side for the World Cup in 2026 in the US of A is to get game time, and Premier League is probably the best chance for him to get there. The conflicting reports about his desire to join one of, I think it's us, Everton and Forest, and he wasn't interested, and he was interested, and we don't know. Anyway, in Gazzetta dello Sport today, it claims that Juventus are willing to compromise on their stance for the 18-cap Brazilian international. It states that they want a loan with a buy option to avoid a bloodbath, it says, after he cost them over £600,000 per appearance last campaign. He's also set to get his fine for missing training in recent weeks as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. A loan with option, I think, bite their hand off. But I wouldn't want to commit a significant amount of budget towards a purchase of him. He's 27. You'd want at least a 3-year deal. You're not going to get return on investment on that. But he's got what we miss in terms of that energy. And alongside maybe Paqueta and Alvarez, and then Freddie Potts is like the understudy. That's completely reinvigorated the midfield. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's move to the forward line, and we're sticking with Serie A. And I don't think it's a surprise that we are sticking with lots of Serie A players at the moment, because obviously Antonio, our new chief Serie A scout, is going around talking to clubs, looking at pre-seasons of Italian clubs, trying to find the next good Italian-based player to move over to the London Stadium. A guy we spoke about before last week, Roberto Piccoli. A little bit more news about him. Apparently, it's us and Benfica are reportedly battling for his services. 24-year-old scored 11 goals and 4 assists in 40 appearances for Cagliari last season, having made the move from Atalanta. That deal was made permanent following the loan spell. He's got a contract with Cagliari until June 2029, but widespread expectation about his future. Fiorentina are also said to be interested in his signature, but according to Calcio Mercato, my favourite Italian news outlet, West Ham and Benfica are both planning to make official offers for the Italian, around about £26 million. It's believed that West Ham are leading the race for him. Of course, we could probably offer him a much more lucrative contract than the Liga NOS side, for example, in terms of Benfica. I don't know a tremendous about him, but he's come out of the supercomputer. He's come out of the supercomputer. Let's talk about another striker option. Now, according to Claret & Hugh, they have said that the club are remaining tight-lipped about whether and when he will sign his contract with West Ham, according to Sean on West Ham Football Twitter as well. The Iron Source reported that there's been no confirmation from London Stadium so far regarding the England striker's arrival. Newcastle and Leeds both tabled similar deals to what West Ham have in terms of this sort of risk and reward deal, in that there's a significantly lower basic wage, but significant appearance and goal bonuses added to it. To be honest, I think it's a way we should. I think it's the way football should be going anyway. You know, in terms of that sort of base, particularly in terms of incentivizing players to play, and also incentivizing them to score. Because at the moment, if they're getting a weekly wage and it's not sort of directly tied to making an appearance, then where's the incentive for them? I mean, we'll see. Could it be another smokescreen? The thing about West Ham's transfer dealings now is everything you're second guessing. We're putting a bid in for someone. Oh, have we really put a bid in for him? Or are we putting a bid in for him, a phantom bid, in order to get this person? And it's you're continually playing. It seems like we're trying to sort of decipher it. It sounds sometimes like a Sherlock episode. You're trying to match the clues up as it goes along. As I said, for me, I think coming out of Saturday, the two priorities are the midfield and the striker, and nothing's changed in the last 6 months, really, particularly with news that they weren't going to offer Fabianski a new deal. And I mean, I haven't looked through the 185 players have been linked with, but I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of them seem to be sort of either defenders or strikers, not that many sort of midfieldy players. Just looking down the list, and looking down the first column, I've got 6 columns, 185, and I can count midfield wise 1. Terribly exciting telly, I do apologise. 2, 3, 4 midfielders in the first column, which is 35 players. And I just want some. I think in the next week, if we can get a new goalkeeper and at least one midfielder in, because then the following week's going to be coming into the Lille game, isn't it? Next Saturday will be Lille, and then the following week it's the start of the season. So we've just got over 2.5 weeks, or just under 3 weeks until the season kicks off. And we seem to be very, very... Now, granted, on Saturday, there was obviously Alvarez has just met up with the team. There's no real deals, there's no real offers in for Edson Alvarez that we're being aware of. Same with Naya Figuered. So I think for me, those two stay unless a significant bid comes in. I don't think they have to sell them. I think unless something comes in which matches their valuation. I don't think it will match their valuation, in all honesty. Now on Saturday, that 3 midfield, you think if you chuck 2 out already and put in Paqueta and Alvarez, and maybe check out the next one and put in Potts, Paqueta, Alvarez. It's a bit better for me than Souček, Guedes, and JWP. Plus, maybe if you got in a Douglas Luiz or Onyeka from Club Brugge, they maybe replace Potts, and then Potts can compete for that, that position. I'd feel a lot better than I did in that midfield. I mean, obviously the midfield second half was a lot better. Paqueta is now for Freddie Potts, Preston. Made up for Preston because lovely lad, and to almost be welcomed onto the world stage, really, because in a match that was the most attended football match, soccer match in US history, according to, I saw it and I screenshotted it because I couldn't believe it. Where is it? Yep. 82,566 fans were at the game on Saturday, making it the biggest soccer crowd in the US. Sorry, this year, not in history. My apologies. This year. So I didn't read. Very important. That's more than the 81,118 Club World Cup attendance a few weeks ago. This year. Okay, that's not ever. Anyway, on that bombshell, don't forget to check out these@motherbrand.com. I should really read the whole article before I talk about things. But he's what I am. Check out these@motherbrand.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. And I'll see you guys later. Much love. See ya. Bye-bye.